Okay, hi everyone. I think the most part of participants is already here, so we can start. My name is Tatiana. I'm the administrator of today's meeting, and I'd love to ask you if it's possible, please switch on your video, or maybe you can put your photos as a picture of your profile. These are 25 participants. Great. So first of all, I would love to show you a short presentation of ECG projects, and after that we will start to discuss today's topic. So first of all, I'd love to say that we're living in very high-speed life, and most of projects I will discuss today are already transformed in something else, and I will tell you a little bit more about its present state. So first of all, we will discuss ECG Film Festival. The aim of this festival is to unite all creative people in cinema, or people of Central Asia and people of Europe, to let them meet each other, discuss their own topics, their own problems, and maybe make some collaboration. And this year, ECG Film Festival will be held in 13 of August in a limit of Romford Film Festival, in frame of Romford Film Festival in London. We would like to see all of you as participants, but unfortunately we've already closed this opportunity. So yes, tell me please if you see my screen, because it's some sort of technical issues. Does it work?
It's okay, yes, yes.
Great. The next project is Top 25 Works of Art of Eurasia. This is amazing project, and we're already prepared to go on next level and to make this art roadshow and exhibition in different cities, and as well as now it will be online format, right? Right. Yes, and we will show 25 posters of our participants in countries of Asia and Europe. Another one project is Poetry Festival Voices of France. This is something new for us, because next year will be an anniversary of Walter Scott. It will be 200 years from his day of birth, and we will make this exactly this project to celebrate this anniversary. It will be very interesting project, and we are working on it right now. So more information we will place on our website. And of course, traditional event, Eurasian Creative Week, will be held in London. We hope that all borders will be opened to this moment, and we will see everyone at this event, and make a lot of new collaborations and see a lot of creative people. Open Eurasian Literary Festival and Book Forum. It will be held in Spain this year, in Madrid. Right now we're working with our participants to make this festival more open, even more open than before. We will be really glad to see everyone at this meeting in November of 2020. And of course, OCA Magazine as a project. OCA Magazine is a very unique thing, and this is very unique project which is uniting Europe and Asia, and this is the only one independent magazine about Central Asia, and we are proudly say that yesterday we held a meeting, Zoom meeting of OCA Magazine, and it was a lot of interesting things about online education, about some issues in education, and the video is already available on our YouTube channel, and you can see it. It was very many positive people from educational from education who talked about their life right now in limits of COVID-19. Very interesting thing and very inspiring. ECG book series, I think we will discuss it a little bit later today, but as most of you know that books are very important part of our work. So everything we do for our authors, we do to maybe promote the culture of Asia and Eurasia to English-speaking people. And we are proud of it. Academic book series is like a book series is published in London with in support of Cambridge University Press, and it's more about some scientific works than about some fiction. And of course, our online Zoom meetings every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Moscow time or 12 a.m. UK time. You always can join us, and especially if you speak Russian. I mean, 3 meetings per month is in Russian, and 1 meeting is in English, like today's one. So for all questions, you can contact us any time of day or night or so on. So now you see our contacts. I will send a link on our Facebook group, and you can join us there if you are still didn't do this. I think it's all. So let's come back to conference. Yeah, I've got it. I see you all. So this is very interesting and unique topic for today's meeting. And before we start, I will tell you a little bit of rules. Sorry, I'm really nervous. It's a very important thing to me. First of all, please keep your microphones muted before it's your turn to speak. It's really uncomfortable to speakers make these speeches if they hear some noises or something like that. So the second rule, please be polite to each other, and we will look at everyone on the screen. Yes, we're here. Now it's 29 participants, and I see you all on my screen. So that's all, I suppose. Oh, and open microphone. This is a very important thing in every meeting. And today's meeting is special. We wanted to make it very heartwarming, very friendly, very open, and today's meeting is everything for you. And this is very important to see your how you involved in our discussion. So please write your questions in a chat box, or if you want to say something, make your own speech up to 5 minutes, please write in the chat box, and we will ask you to talk with us, to share with us your own experience. And now I proudly give a word to amazing person, our amazing moderator, Gareth Stamp. He's a director of GSSR Kazakhstan and GSAR Bulgaria, and he is a writer. So, Gareth, now you're the boss, as I promised.
Unmute. Thank you very much, and Tatiana, thank you for all of the hard work you've done getting this together, and to all of the ECG group for these talks. I actually really appreciate them, and although I don't always participate, I do look at the videos afterwards. And one of the great things about them is the positivity that comes from ECG. It's really nice to see some familiar faces here from all across the globe, and it's a testament to ECG and to all of the projects that you've mentioned, that this actually works so well. As Tatiana mentioned, today's slightly different format. We want to find out about your creativity. We want to find out about what sort of things that you've done in a positive way during these very unusual times. We've got three distinguished members of the panel here who will tell us a bit about what they've been doing, but we want you to contribute as well. So I will introduce them one at a time a little bit later, but what I want to do here is to see this as a positive meeting, which is sort of networking, if you like. We were having a brief discussion before we've all joined here, and already people are seeing connections between what people are doing. And I think that's, again, another key thing. And although we're putting a really positive side on the COVID situation, I know that this has been a tragic time for other people, and we have to, acknowledge that it's not been a positive time for everybody. But I think creative people, on the whole, can see a way through it and have seen it as a way of developing their creativity. I'm going to introduce Anastasia first. Anastasia Fox, who's one of our panelists here. She's going to tell us a bit about what sort of things she's been doing. She's based in Britain at the moment, and has been for the last 14, 15 years, but a very wide experience of the arts and creative field. So if you can tell us a little bit about what sort of thing you've been doing, Anastasia. Remember to unmute first. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and I'm so proud to be part of the panel. First of all, thank you so much, Tatiana, and thank you for unique opportunities to be part of this great community. Yes, my name is Anastasia Fox. I'm bred in Latvia, capital city Riga, in Soviet Union time, and was part of USSR Olympic team member in Moscow Olympic Games. That is the introduction in the beginning, but through the life, up and downs, going through different kind of fields, and one of the fields was art therapies, which that time was quite challenging to maintain in a post-Soviet time. And I moved in United Kingdom when I started working in a high security mental health hospitals as a therapist, as a NLP practitioner. As saying in my positions already, this is all around art and therapies, and not only sport, but sport is as well art. Nevertheless, in 2017, I have my own personal worst time in my life, and I became disabled where I couldn't walk anymore. So that was make me in a position when I start recreate my life completely from different fields, where I start using my techniques for myself, not for others. So leading that, having several surgeries in 2018, and last year, 2019, 11 September was my first concert or event where I bring together 7 completely different cultures with their national backgrounds, which was so unique that people came back to me and say, you need to continue to do so. And I did, as always, a little bit this athlete thinks it's in me. If someone says I do something good, I try to do even more. This year was planned 7 events, which all have to be cancelled. One of that, again, 11 September, but I don't think so in United Kingdom will be possible doing a scale how I want to. So maybe that will be in a different format, because over the COVID time, and now we go in a positive way. In a COVID time, amazing things happened, and many people over the last 2 years asked me to write the book. And I say, no, my English language, not so good. My Russian language, it's lost. And Latvian language too, because I'm used all three and all not in a position that I can write any book. But because I became in this huge community with this support, amazing support, I took the risk. And in 11 September will be first book from 4 books out, and a book called Art of Life. So this is something educational and autobiography together, if I can say. It's hard to explain how fantastic this happened when you sit down and write the book and put your memories and everything on a page, and then you can see from nothing became something out of it, where you can teach persons who have thousands, millions all over the world, which struggle with similar or even the same conditions, and they don't know how to get out of it. So this is my first, but not last, for COVID time, which I done it, because being in United Kingdom, in Latvian community, here we figure out as well many issues, where over the COVID time, Latvian community in United Kingdom suffer with integration in United Kingdom rules and regulations and their rights. Doing that, I create unique portal from Latvian speaking people which living in United Kingdom to integrate there in the United Kingdom, and to more encourage them culturally use our traditions, learn about and remind about our huge cultural backgrounds, not only which was Soviet time, but pre-Soviet time, not pre-Soviet time, our free Latvian time, post-Soviet time, as example, how much we learned. So the portal called Aknoteikumi, which is, if translate, United Kingdom rules in a Latvian language. And the third, over the COVID time, I became the part of Project Centrala, which is West Midlands in United Kingdom. Make the programs to United Kingdom government represent and recognize Central and Eastern European minority cultures and communities, because before we was Europe Union citizens, we was classified as a Europe Union, but culturally every small culture, it's different with the different kind of backgrounds, needs and understanding, political, economical traumas, which really affect my community, and not only my community. So saying that, in COVID-19 time, I have a more busy, more productive time, which I had in the last 3 years, actually.
Can I just interject there? Is it the amount of time you had that made you do this, or is it your desire to be more creative in this time? This is what I'm interested in. I mean, time, yes. So
okay, thank you. Great question. Many people think the time it's what we have now more. Anytime we have 24 hours in a day. It depends how you look on them. During my illnesses, where I was 24/7 in a bed, I have a more time So that doesn't make sense to me, and I do not felt actually big difference because I get this through 2.5 years being inside house only. Nevertheless, I think the negativity which was around the world put me in a state that do not change anything, that only make people get back in a depressive state. So what can I do? What can I teach and learn and do for others to help them overcome that and do not feel that way? I think that was my accelerator. Not because of I have more time. It's 24/7. We have everyone. We have 24/7.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Can I just open up to everybody? And I just really want to find out what sort of creative things people have been doing. Can I just start a little straw poll? And don't worry if you've not done any of these things. If you could put your hand up, that would actually just be good. How many of you have written a book in the last 6 months because of COVID? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 8 or 9 of you. That's great. How many of you have painted pictures you wouldn't normally have painted in the last 5 or 6 months because of COVID? 1, 2, 3, 4. A few. Okay. What about poetry? How many people have written poetry in the last 4 or 5 months because of COVID? Oh yes, a few people's hands going up there. That's good. What else? How many people have made a film or a video in the last 5 or 6 months because of COVID? Okay, not so many, but a few. Okay, so people are being creative. I'm sure I've missed other things. I'm sure there are people out there that have become amazing weavers or knitters or sculptors or whatever. And we'll come back to some of those in a moment. I'm just going to move over to Minda. Minda is in Poland at the moment. I caught you in the middle of having a drink, sorry. Minda is a sculptor. I'm going to let him talk about what he does, and he's going to show us some of the work that he's been doing. He's doing his PhD at the moment, so I'm interested to see where that's going. So over to you, Minda.
Hello, hi. Hello, everyone. I'm really glad to join this meeting. My name is Minda Du. I'm from mainland China, and my study is, I'm a sculptor, and then currently I'm doing my PhD in Poland, in Wrocław. And I get my master in the UK in Canterbury, called University for the Creative Arts. The reason I'm interested to go abroad to study, just because I want to see, when I was in China, I met a lot of like exchange students from Europe, from overseas, and I really interested how they look at China, how they feel, for example, like the cuisine, the way we talk, the way we behave, and so different, and make them so surprised. And for me, it's like common sense. So since then, it started with like a really small thing, and I want to go to Europe. That's why I choose to study in the UK. Even I learned a lot about UK, a lot about Europe, a lot about America, etc. from the news, but I don't really feel it. So that's why I kind of like come to here. And I'd like to say about this COVID effect to me. Actually, I in this January 19th, I remember, I did my winter holiday and go back to China. Since then, this epidemic was happening in Wuhan, in China. And since then, I was locked down. As soon as I arrived in my home, I was locked down in my home doing my quarantine. And then since I think 27th of February, I decided to go back to Poland to continue my study. At that time, Poland haven't found any cases of this COVID. I thought, okay, since I arrived in Poland, I can start my work. But then, since I just at the same day when I transferred in Moscow, I was been told from the academy, like, okay, if you come back from China, you have to do like 2 weeks quarantine. I say, okay, fine, I understand that. And then after I did my arrival in Poland, I did my 2 weeks quarantine. That exactly the day, 11th of March, I remember that day. And the government said, okay, everything shut down. So I've been continue my quarantine till now, which kind of like maintain the personal record to the world, like I'm the longest guy to have my quarantine. But anyway, I mean, I would like to show you some of my work. if you can see the screen, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a small sample because I know each body, we don't have much time. I want to show you something like, okay, this is the ceramic work I've been doing since I was in Poland. And this is some figurative sculpture I made before. This is what I do, like figurative sculpture. But since 1st of April, you know, by the time I was locked down in my dormitory, I can't access to any material of sculpture. I can't access to clay or whatever. And then the only material I have is some paper and my brush, my brush, like the Chinese painting brush, and some inks. That's the only thing I can do. And I don't know what to do, to be honest, for after a long time. But the thing is, this COVID forced everyone in the world now, just force us to live alone and disconnect with the society. But just because we have internet, the only thing I can face every day is my laptop. I can of course access to all the news, to see the news, to contact people through Instagram, Facebook. Then I just draw my laptop, the news, the font of the news. And then I found it's really interesting because the original idea for me to come to here to study, to feel, is I want to figure out as a foreigner how to be a coexistence with, I call it alien culture, because we have so much agree and disagree and we don't know each other. And I want to physically feel it with myself and then make work with my experience. That's why since the 1st of April, I didn't choose that day. I mean, just happened. And then by that day, I started to paint the headlines from different websites, from the website, from the country I never know, like Thailand, like Norway, like Italian, like, you know, name it. I choose like 20 different country, and the language I don't understand. I don't understand what they're talking about, what they're doing, from different opinions. So I just keep drawing them every day since 1st of April. I mean, by now I just draw their headlines. By now I already made like over 600 drawings, and the project is, the aim is, I set up a exhibition next year. The aim is to complete the 1 year. So that's the way how I how to say, like my archive for this year, what happened to me. It's totally nonsense to me. I mean, no, maybe not, sorry, my English, nonsense is not the right word, but it's like something I don't understand, something I totally have no idea. And I assume the people who actually will saw my works, maybe I just imagine maybe there's no one in the world can fully understand the whole meaning of my work, because it's hard to find out one person can master like 20 different languages, and most of the languages is really like a small group. Some language are really like a painting to me. I mean, the symbols are really interesting, but I think that's the point. Like, we are dealing with the same problem from different perspectives and from different angles, and we report the news from different whatever the political angle or you know. And I think it's quite interesting. As you this is, you can see, this is the last piece I show here is 3rd of June, but I didn't. It's like I made this PPT like a time ago. That's why. And then I show my drawings. I took a picture after I make my drawings. I upload on my Instagram. It's quite new for me, as you know. Like in China, it's not really a good place to use Instagram and Facebook. But I'm really new to social media, and I just upload my drawings, my pictures in my Instagram account, and I got Mark from ECG and contact me and invite me to this lovely book forum, and I'm really honored and I can join this. And yeah, and I was really happy my Instagram, you can see within this several months, I reached 130 followers. That's a personal accomplishment. I think it's really nice. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I think this COVID time is obviously is really a hard time for everyone in the world. But I think it forced me, I mean, personally, it forced me to stop what I'm doing and stop and make me to think what the meaning, different culture, and when we're facing the same problem. And I've been talking with my friend to share with my idea, and people saying there might be the good time for like the thinkers, the philosophers, the artists, and maybe after this COVID, we're gonna, you know, like a lot of like a great master philosophers gonna, you know, emerge. We never know, and I think it's gonna be, you know, we are just waiting and see. So thank you very much.
That's fascinating, and I'm really interested in the fact that you know, I love your sculptures, by the way, but I love the fact that you've changed your direction completely and are using everyday things. A quick question, do you see it, what you've been doing, as a sort of therapy, or is it something more than that?
I mean, it's at the beginning, it's because this is gonna last like every day. I do this drawings every day. It's I don't really have a specific like concept to deliver, but every time it is. I agree with you. It's like a personal therapy, because every time I make the drawings, my mind just, you know, goes everywhere. Sometimes, yes. For example, like today I'm having a good day. I got, you know, have a good drink or something, you know, it's happy day, and sometimes it's annoying. You know, it's become a personal dialogue. It's like I talk to myself. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking that is because one of the things that I did, I think you probably are in quarantine a bit longer than me. I think, although I think I've done more countries quarantining than you have, but we won't have a competition about it. But one of the things that I've been doing is actually writing myself letters and doing sketches and things like that, and actually putting them in the post and sending them to myself. Oh, wow. I haven't got a lot of them back yet, but they're there somewhere. And literally it's just getting out my thoughts and feelings, and that was therapy. And around the world, in a post office somewhere, are probably 40 or 50 letters. And again, it was interesting there, you were talking about routine, where you're doing it every single day. Is that something you would normally do as an artist? Would you normally do a piece every day, or is this a new thing because of lockdown and quarantine?
It's really new to me, because normally what I've been doing is when I have an idea for sculpture or for drawings, I normally do it quickly. I finish, because before, as I told my friend, like I can never imagine for a person, for an artist to make a drawings or a sculpture like several years. I mean, I appreciate that attitude, but it's just not for me, because I mean, during that time, I kind of lose my interest. I gonna maybe thinking something else. So I do it really quick. But this time just gave me this way to express myself in the really rather like a relatively long term of time. I like it, kind of, yeah.
Okay, okay. We lost you towards the end there, but that's great. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. I'm sure there'll be questions from people. I want to come to Jonathan Campion, who is an old stalwart of the ECG scene here, travels extensively in Central Asia, and apparently used to have the dream job. I thought he still had it, but he used to have the dream job of going around talking about wines and spirits and testing and analysing them, which to me is a dream job when you're in lockdown anyway. So Jonathan, tell us what you've been doing creatively over the last few months, and where you see yourself going, and where you see perhaps creativity going.
Thanks, Gareth. So my story, as you said, is that for about 15 years, I was very lucky to be able to travel all over the kind of Eurasian region. So lived in Russia, Ukraine, traveled to Kazakhstan, the Caucasus, never, and really saw the world. About 2 years ago, I came back to England and settled back into quite a boring life and a job that had no connection to that. My contract with this job ended at the end of March this year, which meant that I didn't even have that anymore, and my professional life just came to an absolute halt. And it kind of it's allowed me to get back in touch with my creative side and my true side, which is all things creative related. If it's, you know, travel writing and all sorts of arts and music from Eurasia. And I've used these last 4 months while my professional life's been on hold to sort of, as Mingda said, have a bit of therapy and turn something that previously I tried to fit around my job and, you know, evenings and mornings and free time, actually can dedicate more time to it. So to keep myself sane and to keep healthy, I've been writing a bit, writing down some memories, writing for OCA magazine a couple of times. I've loved doing. Is Marat listening? I've started planning a book.
He's there. He's there. He's listening.
So yeah, I think as Mingda, I think Anastasia as well said that kind of this time we've all been feeling very stressed and not ourselves and anxious. And for me, the kind of creativity and Eurasian side has been a bit of a therapy.
Okay. And where do you see your future going? I mean, you were setting up. You're going to set up on your own as a freelance. I understand. Is that right? Back in March, and obviously things have changed.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I've tried to use these last few months as, again, things that have completely stood still from a professional point of view, and I've tried to start from scratch and try to put myself in a position by writing more articles, by developing my website, my social media, by building contacts, by just growing myself.
Yeah.
To maybe put myself in a position where in the future I could become a freelance writer, translator, editor, and go on that route. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I think that's really interesting, because I think a lot of people have maybe missed this opportunity. There are a lot of people out there who are hoping things will go back to exactly as it was before. And a lot of my, should we say, less creative friends are sitting there waiting for the point where they can do what they used to do. I don't think you can do that anymore. And I think if you've not changed anything in the last few months, then you've missed an opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity, I think. Okay, so thank you very much for all three of you there for sharing your experiences. That's all different and all very, very interesting. I want to actually open it up to other people now. So I'm going to pick on people. People who are sitting there, you know, not doing much, and they're listening and not contributing much. I'm going to ask them how creative they've been. I'm going to start with John Fandon. Hello, John. Nice to see you again.
Hello there. Hi. Yeah. Well,
how have you been creative in the last few months?
Well, I've been phenomenally busy. I thought that I was going to have all this time to start doing all kinds of wonderful projects, but in fact, the publishing industry, because it's one of there's a slight desperation. I think they've been going into overdrive. So I've been writing book after book after book on a wide variety of subjects, and I've been working pretty hard. But I have also been doing things like I've been writing a children's book, which I had on hold, and it suddenly seemed appropriate to write now. It's a book about the people who give magical beings who give you imagination and wit and dreams and creativity, and those who want to kill it. But I've also been writing poetry and participating in a lot of Zoom events and organising a few myself. But the interesting thing is, I've been thinking that actually, I actually challenge, not entirely sure I agree with what you said, is that people should have been creative in this period, because I think that we should definitely not go back to the way we were before. That's basically the world. The world is in crisis. The environment's in crisis. Climate's in crisis, and capitalism is in huge crisis. And basically, there are a lot of people. So there's no way we should go back to what we had before. But I think in terms of an artistic response, I don't think it's obvious how one should respond. And I think to some extent there has been a bit of a manic creativity in that. And I think actually that's great for some people, but I also think it's really worth sitting back and thinking about what you're doing as an artist, what you want to do as an artist, how you change the world, how you can contribute to society. Because one of the things that was going on before lockdown is a lot of artists in the West, at least, were pursuing art as a career. And what that meant is that they were doing art in order to satisfy a market rather than to satisfy a greater creative need. And I think that's led to a whole variety of problems. And I think it's time for artists to rethink, is that actually the best way to pursue art? Can art do something more or something different? And so therefore I don't feel any kind of pressure on. I think I actually want to sit back and not do anything creative for a while until I've processed it a bit more. So that's, yeah.
That's great. Thank you for that. And thank you for touching on the commercial side there. I was going to mention that a little bit later. I think you're totally right. I think some artists that have been very commercial, as you mentioned there, and looking at markets, have been the ones that have actually not survived or maybe creatively survived as well over the last few months. I don't know whether any of the others want to contribute on that. But the other thing as well that was interesting, I'll come back to you in a moment, Anastasia. The other thing that's interesting there is that you've got this thing about creative overdrive, where we're creating so much stuff. I think one of the interesting things with new technology, we're seeing a lot more art online than we wouldn't normally see. We're not physically going to galleries. And I think people are perhaps becoming more interested in art, and maybe, as you say, sitting down and rethinking where we go next. I think the galleries and the people with art exhibition spaces are going to be the ones that have to do the real thinking of how they can create that interest or maintain that interest in a physical way rather than an online way. Anastasia, you wanted to say something?
I am with exactly this. What I want to say is, well, the commercial wise, how we lived before COVID was overwhelming, that everything was done just for financial beneficials, where we completely forgot the actual cultural backgrounds, cultural needs, creativity and heritage, where we are coming from. And the particular Eurasia, there are more than 57 different cultures, and all it's unique. Only what I learned over the COVID, start use Zoom meetings, video calls, which I never done before, which open widely how easy we now can communicate and help each other, actually learn about each other and support each other. And only then when we can support each other, we can move on. Otherwise, if we sit in our own boxes all the time and thinking only about when I will get the money for my art, we never will be creative, because then our creative mind completely lose. Other things which I want to mention about the routines. The routines, even for artists, it's really important, because that gave the goals. And particular the gentleman Miguel, sorry if I say wrong your name, your job actually over the COVID time, it's unique, it's absolutely amazing, but that's make your results because you continuously doing in a routinely. So I think the routines as well, even for our artists and creative people, it's really need, particular how they set their day in the mornings to open widely the creative part and connect with yourselves, as you all mentioned, that actually was as a therapy over the COVID. So I think this is as well what we need to as well quite widely start talk about, that actually mental health come from that we do not use our creative points and abilities. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Let's open up to a couple of other people. I'm looking at people with videos on, the people who very sneakily switched their videos off because they knew I was going to ask them. Aya, can you hear me? Yes, hello. What have you been doing that has been creative over the last few months?
I don't know, like I opened the feminism theme from the other sides, not from the gender gender disorder, just like a oh, I don't know.
Whereabouts are you? Whereabouts are you speaking to us from? Whereabouts, which country are you in?
What?
Which country are you in? Where are you physically?
I'm in Kazakhstan.
Ah, okay. So
Yes.
you're in second lockdown now, okay? And
yes.
But did you find the experience of lockdown? Obviously, it was stressful, but did you find it was actually something you could make the most of during your time there?
Actually not. In my case, the lockdown is not a so real problem because my life was kind of locked down before this situation. But I opened some some other sides of my life, like yes, I found out that I want to work like in a freelance, and I now I bought a course about SMM and like web designing, and yes, I think this is the most creative thing I have done in this lockdown.
Okay. But you've used the time wisely. That's good. Another thing, I mean, a lot of people have used their time to do online courses. I mean, I did. I've done a course on hydroponics online. Don't know why. It just looked interesting, so I thought I'd do it. Maybe one day I'll have a greenhouse with some hydroponics, but I don't know. It just looked interesting, so I did it. And I think that's the other thing with technology. We can suddenly explore things that we don't normally see.
Yes.
And with you're in second lockdown now, and I'm sorry for that, but you actually, are you prepared for this lockdown better? Are you doing more stuff, or are you just making what you've done better?
Can you repeat, please?
With second lockdown, are you intending to do new things, or are you going to do what you did before, only make them better?
Yeah, I'm going to do what I did before because I'm like continuing what I haven't done on the first lockdown. Like I get so many courses and I just should to finish them like in this second lockdown.
All right, that's brilliant. Well, stay safe in Kazakhstan, and I miss the country greatly, so I'm slightly envious of the fact you're there. Let's go to Nicholas. Hello, can you hear me, Nicholas?
Hello, yes, I can.
Hello, whereabouts are you? Which country are you in?
I'm from France.
Uh-huh. And what have you done that's been creative over the last few months?
Well, I've been thinking about what should I do with my life, which is a great thing. But I've also been written some poetry, like I just love to write. So I just had a blank, having a blank page, and just write whatever I can write. So sometimes it's poetry, sometimes it's role play game for my friends, creating a whole universe and trying to put them into that universe while we are playing a role play.
Is that something new that you've just started doing, or something you've always done?
It's some things I've already done once, but no, I made it better because I had much more time and I was more focused on it. So I used my past experience to make it better.
Okay, that's good. And do you see that's something you're going to continue doing after lockdowns and whatever?
of course, I'll never stop being creative, I guess, because that's how I am. But I use every step I do to watch what I've done. I mean, I look back and I see the steps I've made, and I use it to build my future. So yes, it helps, and I will make sure these are not forgotten somehow.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Let's go to one more video, and then I'm going to ask people if they wanted to chip in. Ulubek. Hello. Can you unmute? You're muted. Can you unmute?
Hello, guys.
Hi. Whereabouts are you?
I'm from Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, and I'm glad to see you all. My English is very, very poor. I'm a writer. I don't have anything to say to all of you. I love to write, not speaking. Sorry.
Have you been writing more during the COVID time?
Yes.
Yeah, more. Okay.
Yes, I wrote a lot after COVID.
And are these stories, or are they what sort of writing is it?
Yes, prose.
Okay, and are the stories about COVID? Are they about COVID?
No,
or are they
no, about COVID, about young generation of Kyrgyzstan.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Are they positive stories?
No, I think it's drama.
Ah, okay, even more interesting.
But
okay,
with positive ends. It ends with positive.
Okay, so they've got not happy endings but positive endings. Okay, that's good. Good. Okay, let's pick on one more person. I've lost the videos. Steve King, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, we can see a picture of you. You look like you're sat in the House of Parliament on your picture.
No. I'm just my eyes are a bit weird because my screen is on another screen, so I am looking at the camera, but it's a bit odd because I can't see.
Okay. So what sort of things have you been doing during the COVID time, we'll call it?
I took advantage of the fact that there's a lot of universities now doing sort of online courses, so things that they would normally do face-to-face, they're offering things either free or cheaply to study. So I took a really good course actually in international development from the University of Cambridge, where I live, which is good. And you know, that would normally have cost me a lot of money, but it was a pittance really to do it. And it was a really good thing to do because it sort of inspired me to think about different ways I can take my work in the future and everything else. So that was good.
What sort of things do you normally do, or did you do before COVID?
A lot of reading, and I still do a lot of reading now. I've actually I'm taking some inspiration from Ulubek, and I should really get myself into gear and do some writing as well. But you might see I've got a lot of I do a lot of reading. You can probably see the bookshelf there.
Very envious. I don't have any bookshelves at the moment.
Yeah, well, many people have this minimalist lifestyle these days where they read ebooks.
I haven't got a minimalist lifestyle. I'm just moving house, and it hasn't arrived yet.
Right.
So, yeah. And so, do you see the time you've had as a positive thing? You've obviously done a really interesting course in international development. Is that something you want to pursue in the future? Is that something that did it interest you?
Yeah, no, I sort of work in the periphery of that area now, but not fully fledged into it. And it's sort of, it's making me think about getting more deeply into it in the future. But yeah, I think there are a lot of positives about it. I mean, I much prefer meeting with people and working with them face to face, and I much prefer it when my kids are in school rather than at home. But there are many positives, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I've lost you. Oh no.
Still there?
Yeah, I just lost that last bit. Yeah, I've lost you.
Yeah, I just said that there are a number of positives. You know, more time at home. You know, more time with the kids. You know, sort of more time spent outside. Actually, counterintuitively. You know, less dead time of the day, less dead time spent sort of commuting and going to and from work. Whereas now I work 5 seconds from home, which is nice. I actually work in my back garden. This is a shed in my back garden, and I work there. And I did recently publish an article in. I also had an article in OCA magazine recently, which was a good experience.
Good. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for sharing that. I'm going to go to Iana. Your video is on. I'm sorry to pick on you very quickly there. What we're talking about is what creative things you have been doing and how you see them developing in the future, maybe. So whereabouts are you, first of all?
Hello, everyone. I'm Yana, and I'm in Russia, Kaliningrad. Yeah. Well, I'm a photographer. So for me, the lockdown is a bit difficult because photography is about going out and taking pictures. And I especially like taking pictures outside as well as during the sporting events. But now we don't have any sporting events. We can go outside, but during the lockdown, obviously I couldn't go outside and take any photos. So I couldn't do any photography and I could not improve my skills in this area because I prefer improving through my experience. But this time was good for me because I was able to step back and reflect on my photography, reflect on things that I used to do. Because if it didn't happen, then I would just keep doing what I usually do, what I'm used to do. But in this kind of situation, I could rethink my approach, rethink my skills. I could review my works and see whether I could do differently. And I think this was really useful for me. Another thing is that I actually joined the internship at the Eurasian Creative Guild. And of course, this internship really helped me to explore different areas of arts. Because my interests were quite limited, which is figure skating, photography, foreign languages, and traveling. So I didn't know that much about arts like painting, writing, poetry, or sculpture. But after I joined the internship, I met so many different artists and learned about different projects, and it was really a good experience for me. So yeah, this is how the lockdown helped me to explore myself, to explore my areas of interests and improve my skills, I guess. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And I'm glad that you're actually enjoying the internships. I think it's a really valuable thing that ECG do. I don't think they publicize that enough and big it up enough, shall we say, because I think that certainly all of the interns that I've had dealings with over the last few months have been very professional and very, very helpful and also entertaining and creative as well, which is fantastic. Okay, we'll go to one more person. Victoria. Victoria, can you hear me? I don't. Probably not. Okay, we'll try Anastasia. Anastasia, can you hear me? They're being very quiet. I think they just put their picture up and then gone off to make a cup of tea to look like they're here. Okay. Right, let's try Ralina. No, she's off doing something very important. Okay, Nurjan, you're here. Can you hear me? Nurjan Marks.
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. What sort of creative things have you been doing? And whereabouts are you, first of all?
Hello everyone, I'm from Kazakhstan.
And you're in Kazakhstan now?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you call me?
Excuse me?
And what sort of creative things have you been doing while you've been in lockdown?
I just finished my dissertation work in lockdown.
Oh, okay. So you had time to finish your dissertation and things. Okay.
Yes.
What was that all
What was
that about? What was your dissertation on?
My dissertation about jet pump and using jet pump with combination with another pump, like centrifugal, and effectiveness, how to use this.
Okay. And what? So that's taken up most of your time. Have you worked in a different way during lockdown? Have you found yourself waking up very early in the morning or middle of the night or whatever, or how has it been for you?
I started workouts and drawing. I do anything what I can do, and listening, singing songs. Sorry for my English.
No. So you write your own songs? No,
I just singing.
You just sing. Okay. I just thought you might have been creative and come up with some interesting music. That's something I didn't mention at the start. I wonder if anyone's created an album or written some music. I'm sure there are people out there that have. Okay. And what about the future for you? I mean, do you see lockdown, the next lockdown, the one you're in at the moment, as a positive thing or not?
Of course, positive, because everything what happened with us should be for positive, and I really hope I will better than I was yesterday.
Okay, so yeah, so you're seeing it as a positive development. That's really nice to hear. Okay, that's really nice to hear. I'm just going to have a flick. We're on 2 pages now, so I'm just flicking to the second page and see if there's anybody else there. Is there anybody who wants to contribute? Tell us something really unusual that you've done. And let's see if you want to put your hand up, if you're on video or you want to send a message to the chat. I want to find somebody that's done something really unusual in the last 4 months. Seems like a lot longer, but 4 months. I want to find somebody that's done something really unusual. I'm looking around at all these screens. Who have we got there? That can't be your real name, iPhone.
Oh, it's me. No.
Hi, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. I hear you.
Your name can't be iPhone.
My name is Marjan because it's Korean.
Okay, and what have you been doing, Marjan?
I'm just sitting at home, and in holidays, I'm just playing with friends poker.
So where are you?
I'm from Kazakhstan, Almaty city.
Okay, so you're in Almaty, and I mean, have you seen the process as being a creative thing, or is it something that you found boring?
Positive. It's in this period. I don't know, because in university we just come in online, and so I think it's not good because in online courses I just so distracted a lot, and I think in the future people will be so I think feel more fierce.
Okay. So not totally positive. Okay. That's not okay. Let's see what we can. Tatiana, you want to share your story?
Yes.
Come on,
Actually,
you're the administrator, but we will let you. You're in control here, so I'm not going to say no. So come on then.
thank you so much. I didn't expect such a quick response, but I'd love to share some story about my creative life in lockdown. So, if you can, hope you can. Um, Actually, I didn't notice any difference between my life before COVID-19 or my life in the time of COVID-19, because for a long time it was just a lot of work with some computer things, some projects, and actually it was time when I didn't come out from the house for 4 days maybe, or something like that. But I'd love to say that COVID gave me the greatest opportunity in my whole life. And maybe I will show it to you. Yes, my COVID-19 benefits. Of course, as we talked a lot, more time with myself. This is the thing I've got from the lockdown. This is very important thing to stop and to look at yourself and ask yourself, what do you want from your life, from your job, from everything and everyone around you. So for me, it was amazing time when I could just listen to myself and learn more about myself and my own abilities, my own ambitions, my own dreams, and so on. And it leads me to some ideas for new creative projects. Actually, I didn't think about myself as about creative person for a long time because my job was in commercial things. So I truly say I forgot that I was creative someday. But now I thought, why not? I sat in my house and in my apartment, and I thought, oh, why not? If I want to do something creative, why not? What can stop me? And even if the lockdown, the pandemic can't stop creative projects, why should my fears do the same thing? So, I've got some ideas for new creative projects, and I would love to share it with you, but right now I can't because it takes a lot of time. Everything I can say, I'd love to write a book. Maybe I will do it, but not this year. But I want to do this. This is my benefit from this lockdown, this pandemic, and new opportunities. Here I am in ECG. So now I'm an ECG member, and I'm really proud of it. This is amazing opportunity to contact a lot of creative people, and all of you are so supportive, so positive. You are so inspiring, and I'm really, really grateful for that, to all of you. This is the most amazing and important thing, especially in some period of crisis like lockdown, is to support each and everyone in his own beginnings, in his own dreams. And thank you so much for such warm, such warm chat. And maybe this is that's all I can say right now. But I hope I will continue my life in ECG, and I will see you further and further and further. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. I think those three things that you highlighted there on your slide are common to everybody. You're getting some thumbs up there. That's brilliant. One last person, I think, and then we'll open up to questions if we need to. Bozena. Bozena. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, hi, thank you. Yes, my name is Bozena. Hi to everyone. I'm so delighted to see everyone, and especially since I work in ECG and I constantly communicating with you. It's such a pleasure to see you in, let's say, real life, Zoom / I don't know. Regarding the theme, the topic we're discussing today, the first thing, COVID-19 made me get back home in Belarus. because in March I was based in Dubai, and when this pandemic has started, I was like in the first phase, I was in denial. I didn't believe it's gonna be so international, on the international scale. So then here we are again. I came back home. First week I was trying not to get crazy because I was literally stuck in my room in my apartment. Although several weeks ago I was just like moving, going, talking to people, and then it was really a radical change for me. And then in terms of creativity, I start my internship in ECG. Right now I work in OCA magazine. And in terms of creativity, I start to work more into photography. I took some online free workshops, and yeah, let's say so.
Okay, that's great. I'm really pleased that you're throwing yourself into the internship, and again, thank you very much for the work you've done over the last few weeks. You know, we have been in contact quite a lot.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
It's actually really nice to be part of a community like this. Is anybody who wants to actually throw in some questions to either the panelists or to anybody, to be honest? We've got a few more people who have just joined us with video, because I think they thought I was going to stop asking people, but maybe I'm not going to stop asking people. So anybody want to ask any questions of the panelists, or just throw in some ideas really about where you think we can take this further? That what we've got here are 25, 26 really creative people. How can we work together? Well, you've all gone shy now.
All right, I'll say something.
Well done, John. Thank you, John.
Actually, it's fascinating. Actually, this meeting, because 5 years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago, I started running these evenings of music and poetry and storytelling and just sharing ideas, very involuntary basis, with people in London. But what was interesting is that we invited people to join us in these evenings via Skype. We projected a screen of a poet from California contributing via Skype, and a pianist from his kitchen in San Francisco, another one from Australia and from Strasbourg. And everybody thought we were kind of slightly weird doing this thing at that time. But now,
look at it.
This is exactly, and it's what we've done. And what's kind of fascinating about this particular meeting, the particular meeting for the Eurasian Creative Guild, is that I've got to know people via these meetings, and we can share ideas. And I think it's via these Zoom meetings in a way that we never did. It is, I don't know how many different countries we've got contributing here, but it's a lot. And I think it's amazing. And I think it's absolutely fundamental to making the world a better place by communicating like this and understanding it. Because we're not, although we're in isolation, human beings are not individuals who have only their interests at heart. We work better in a community, and I think that's what's so terrific about the Eurasian Creative Guild, and it's brought artists and other people together across a wide span. And I hope that this will lead to more things, that this will lead to greatest artistic understanding, but just getting to know people. It's really nice. It's fantastic. As people have been saying, it leads to a sense of warmth and community, which is terrific. And I think this can lead to a lot of better things. So I hope that we can do more and more of it, and hopefully we can do some more actually face-to-face events in the future.
Good. That sounds really, really good and really positive. And I think that we're very. I think we're very, as you say, on our own, in our own little worlds, but through technology, we can join together. And I think that's a very positive thing there. Nicholas, do you want to add something? You want to add something there?
Yeah, I want to share a bit of my thoughts about the impact of the coronavirus on the creative minds. I mean, we all have been and still are impacted by the coronavirus disease. And for the body, this is a disease, but for creativity, I see it as a poison. I mean, yes, it's a poison. It poisoned my mind, and there's no special place in my mind for coronavirus. Like that special place that used to be like, did I really close the door of my house? Is no, oh yes, true, we are in a pandemic. Wait, am I coughing right now? Maybe I'm ill, etc., etc. So it fills part of our mind and keep it busy. So that's why I call it a poison. But there is a cure to that poison of mind, and that is for me art and creativity. You have to let those negative ideas go out and set them free, to open like the door and just let it open. So in that way, while our doctors are seeking a cure for our body, we all have a cure for our mind. We need to spread that idea that I think lockdown already created many new artists, and don't get me wrong, everybody can be an artist, but you become one as soon as you let your ideas go on a blank paper. So I think the coronavirus disease will bring us more creativity. We all already lived the lockdown, and I'm pretty sure you all got that feeling, discovering something new in your everyday life pathing. You know, lockdown made us took time to think, to watch, to admire. I discovered a new place in my city during lockdown because I was walking to the bakery. Yes, I'm French. And while on the way for it, I just wondered what is beyond that street. I never got there and was like, what even is there? And the fact it was forbidden to me to go there, it gave me the willingness to go there. And after the lockdown, I went there and discovered there was a really beautiful place with a park full of beautiful flowers, etc. So without the lockdown, I wouldn't have been able to discover that place probably. I was walking my everyday path without questioning the existence of what could be there. But the fact it was forbidden to me to go there, and the fact I took a slow walk to breathe some fresh air during lockdown got me discovering this place. So the final point is, let's all use this giant slowdown in our lives to stop and admire things that surround us. Don't resist to the poison that is the pandemic for our mind, because beauty is everywhere and art is the cure. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. That is incredibly positive and actually very moving as well. I'm gonna just go over to Mark. Can you hear me, Mark? Hello, Marat.
Yeah, yes.
Would you like to say a few words? We're gonna close in a few minutes. We'll give people a chance to ask some more questions if they wish. But would you like to say a few words here? It's because of you that we're all here.
Yes, thank you very much. Gareth, is a very interesting time we live now, when we can be united, being in different parts of the world. And as already said, that Zoom or other online technology brings us all together. I remember we met with you a few years ago in Astana, and we did in Almaty, and hopefully we will meet in Bulgaria soon.
Well, maybe even in Tashkent. I'm going to Uzbekistan, don't forget.
Very good, yes. And I just been doing my counts. I mean, how many countries are represented now? At least from what I know, we've got Poland, we've got Kyrgyzstan, France, we've got Belarus, Russia, Bulgaria, UK, Kazakhstan. So we already have 8 countries, at least whom I know. There's probably more countries. And it's great that through ECG, I mean, we united. It is exactly what Eurasian Creative Guild does. It unites and promotes creative minds. And I think we've been doing it successfully for the last 5 years. And our Zoom meetings happen every Wednesday, same time for, I think it's now meeting number 16. And we never had less than 25 people. We have up to 65 people. And we do English meetings every fourth night, and we're planning, as we discussed with John, to increase it to like every third meeting to do in English, so it will be more often. And I think it really makes it as international when the Russian speaking or any other languages will kind of mix with English speaking, because I mean we need to admit that over 2 billion people in the world knows or learns English according to British Council, and it's good. I mean, wherever we go, we can communicate in English, and we should do it more, and should do in a kind of in creative communication. So I think ECG is kind of achieving its aims, thanks to you. And I would like to thank everyone for coming today. I would like to thank my team, and especially Tatiana, to organizing it. And I think we'll also would like to hear a few words from our chairman, John Farden, that he also will say about Eurasian Creative Guild as he sees it as a chairman. So John, are you still here with us? If you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm still here, but I think that I've said quite a lot already, sir. So in some ways, I'd quite like some of the other people who haven't spoken before to. So if because we only got a few minutes left, so I'll pass over to somebody else, and I'll come back if there's nobody else.
Okay, is there anybody else who would like to make some comments generally or about the topic? Anastasia, quick comments, Ms. Anastasia, and just trying to see who else there is.
I want a little bit be cheeky and say we do not have only English, we have Latvians, which wasn't mentioned, because I'm living in United Kingdom. I still represent Latvian community and Latvians, so that it's one more nation in a EU account. And nevertheless, yes, this is most important thing what we now learning, that doesn't matter where we live, doesn't matter what we represent, we actually can communicate. And over the COVID time, we learn more and more to do so. And this is one of my first Zoom meetings where actually I'm speaker. I always try to participate, but be behind the screen, do not say. And I tell you, Anna, thank you so much for opportunities. And I think I need to do this a little bit more. Thank you, Marat. Thank you, everyone. Absolutely amazing meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution, and your positivity is great. Okay, John, I think we can come back to you to sum it all up, I think.
Well, I don't know if I can sum it all up, but I'll do my best. But one of the things I would like to say is that actually it's kind of quite amazing that in this very difficult time, the Eurasian Creative Guild seems to be taking off in a way that it hasn't done before, partly because of these meetings, but partly because of the amazing work that Marat and all the fantastic interns are doing. And I think what I would say is that we should build this movement, because I think it's a very positive thought for bringing people together and a creative forum, because there are the more entries we have into all the competitions, the festivals, the better it gets, and we can make this as ourselves. So I would urge every single one of you to contribute and share their work with the ECG, with all the festivals, and just individually between yourselves, because if I put up my website on the chat room, and some other people have, but I think it would be great if we can share our work, because being an artist is quite a lonely world, especially in times of this COVID. So if we can share with each other, then we'll all feel a lot better, and we need an audience. So let's do that, kind of get working and sharing with this, and make this organization as good as it can and exciting as it can possibly be. So thank you very much to everybody involved. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, John, for your contribution to not just today's meeting, but to everything you do for ECG and the creative publications that you produce as well. I'd like to say a big thank you to the panelists, Anastasia, John, and Mingda, and hopefully they will all be being creative and as we go. Is that somebody calling me, or what's going on here? I don't know. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of that. Perhaps, Tatiana, you could take over from me for a moment.
Sure, it was your phone, so everyone else was muted. So, for now, when we have a moment to share our emotions, please, if you still didn't write your contact info in chat box, please do it. Maybe you will find someone to collaborate with. Maybe you will find new friends, or maybe you want to learn more about today's panelists, and you can join all all the pages and visit our website, the ECG website, to learn more about our projects, to become the participant of our projects, and keep this good mood and positive vibes inside of you. So Gareth, I see you came back.
I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know. It's technology.
Sorry,
Yeah. Bożena?
Hi, can you hear me?
Did you want?
Yes, you've been asking everyone who's been participating in this conference about how the COVID-19 has shaped our creativity and so on. And I would like to hear your answers to this question as well.
Oh. Okay. Okay, we can finish my answers. It's been a very interesting time. I was in India at the start of the initial lockdown. I remember it was March the 21st when we started, and we had over 100 days of lockdown. And the original lockdown was meant to be for 2 weeks. And so I thought, well, I won't do anything too drastic. But what I did do was actually finish off writing a couple of children's books, and then decided to do the illustrations for them, which Hertfordshire Press have very kindly agreed to publish for me, so they'll be coming out fairly soon. So I did those. I've done a lot of other writing as well, trying to finish things off that I did. Again, like lots of people, my sleep patterns and routines are completely out the window. I'd be waking up at 3:30 in the morning and working for 4 or 5 hours and then having to go back to bed, that sort of thing. And I just couldn't get out of that routine. We also in India had the first 7 weeks of lockdown. There was no alcohol at all anywhere. So I stopped drinking for a long time, which probably helped me focus. But I did other crazy stuff as well. I bought a house online. That's where I'm sitting now. I bought this house in Bulgaria. I hadn't seen it. I just said, yes, I'll have that. And that's where I'm sitting. And it's lovely. And it's all more or less worked out as I planned. So I think you've got to take a few risks. Like Nicholas said, the COVID thing did get into your head. It was the poison at the back of the head. And I think he's totally right that you start thinking, you know, have I got it? You'd self-analyze 2 or 3 times a day, oh, just coughed, I've got it. But having been in quarantine 4 times now, no, I haven't got it. Or maybe I have had it. I don't know. Who knows? Who will know these things? But I think as creative people, we take risks. I said earlier, I wrote lots of letters to myself. I'd done lots of pictures because I knew I was leaving India. A bit like Jonathan, my contract finished. And I was sat in India desperate to leave, and I was desperate to do some painting. I used to do a lot of painting, and I wanted to do some really big scale painting. So what I started doing, because I thought I was going to be leaving in about 2 weeks, I started using all my bed sheets because I had nothing to paint on, and then got to the point where then lockdown got continued and I couldn't leave, so I ended up with no bedding because I painted on all of it. And so it's all here now. That has come here with me. So I've got sheets with paintings of crows and things like that on there. I'm looking forward to all of this sort of new normalizing. There can be a big exhibition. I think we do need a physical exhibition. I miss walking around galleries. I miss sort of, you know, discussing pictures with people that you meet in a gallery. So I hope that will all happen. So thank you for asking me what my responses were. I think I've been a bit mad and a bit crazy, but you know, what the heck, you know, when you get to my age, why not? Just do it. I do have a new job coming up, hopefully in Uzbekistan, which if they let me out of Bulgaria and let me into Uzbekistan, I can start hopefully in August, but at the moment it's not looking likely. But yeah, so I've used the time, I think, fairly wisely. I've actually, as Tatiana was saying, I've actually looked at myself a lot, and at the end of it, I actually quite like myself. I didn't think I did, but I actually do quite like myself and the things I do. And that's not being big-headed or whatever, but I just think I've come to say, yeah, okay, you're not a bad person after all, really. And so, you know, if nothing else from the end of the COVID situation, I now know how to wash my hands. I like myself, and I'm living in a fantastic house in Bulgaria. So, you know, it's been a creative time for me. I'm going back to Tatiana so she can actually do whatever has to happen to end this purgatory that we're putting ourselves through.
Thank you so much. It was really inspiring speech. Thank you so much for that. And thanks all of you you know, this is a very important thing, just to find a little bit time to share your experience with everyone else, and to maybe gives them your positive energy. This is very important thing, and we appreciate your attention and your time and everything you do for ECG and everything you do for artistic people, for creative people, and for the world. Many thanks for every one of you. And I'd love to say, you know, actually, I didn't think how it should be ended, because I thought Gareth can say something very inspiring, and he did it. So now it's a time limit as well as I can see. And
well, maybe we do it again. Maybe we don't just end it. Maybe we do it again soon and just have a discussion in this way. I quite like this format. It's nice to get people involved. I apologize to those people I didn't ask. Next time, put your video on and look happy, and I will pick on you.
I think this is the best final we can have. One more thing, as you can see, Eurasian Creative Guild is a very happy and big and creative family. So if you are still not with us, please join us, become an ECG member to participate in all of our events, and you can find more info on our website and on our official page on Facebook as well. So I hope you will join us and become one of us totally and completely. Thank you so much for a good mood. Thank you so much for this incredible time, and I hope I will see you soon.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.